Hello, computer programming class. Today is our wonderful first major coding lesson. We're going to use ASCII coding. So, what is AS2 coding? Well, it stands for American Standard of Code for Information Exchange. It was used as text and characters used in computers. There are a total of 128 characters used in US ASCII coding. It contains everything that is written to the English language, as you can see. Pretty much it was used to create text art back in 1966 by Kenneth Knowlton at Bell Labs. ASCII coding art became popular in the early 1990s for more people as they got more personal computers. So, pretty much how it works is you have to make sure it's a certain font space. It needs to be created using monospace, which means singular spacing. So not double space, not space and a half, but one single spacing. And you have to make sure you have at least a variable, which is, of course, one letter. So you use fonts with, as I say, dumb quotes. Dumb quotes are the quotation marks and apostrophes that are straight and they're not curved or slanted. And of course, your alignment should always be to the left side. So this is how it's going to work, and we're going to do one together. So what we're going to do is two ways you can do this: Control T or hit the plus button on your Google Chrome. Once everything loads up, go ahead and do one of two things. Click on the Google Apps, and you can do two things. You either can click on Docs and then create a blank document, or if most of you go through Drive, you click on Drive. Go over to the colored Google Plus button, click New. Scroll down to where it says Google Docs, and you'll get your blank document. So the first thing, of course, you're going to do is go ahead and change this untitled document to ASCII coding. If you do not do this correctly, you are going to have this as an untitled document. I'm going to take a point away. I do not take documents that are only untitled. That is very unorganized in your Google Docs when you're looking for a coding or a program you had worked on a previous lesson and all you have is untitled, you don't understand. That's why you need to, of course, put in the different titles for this. So once you do here, we're going to do something very basic here. So ACS2 coding can be done in any program and go from Google Docs. I'm using Microsoft Word, Notepad Plus, Mac or iPad. I'm using Pic Collage, Android, Seesaw, Kindle Fire, many ways you can do this. First thing you have to do is make sure your settings are correct. So first of all, make sure it is aligned to the left. That's what this button here is, your left align. Second, I'll try to keep it to usually a font style of 8 to 11. 11 is a good size for it. 8's kind of small, but it's readable. I usually keep it on 11. And of course, you need to change your font style here. It's either going to be default by Arial or New Times Roman. So what you have to do, since we are in Google Docs, is you click on your font key and you look for Fira Mono, and all you do is go ahead and click it. Now, you might go, hey, wait a second, I don't see it here. Not a problem. When you get it, you go ahead and click on More Fonts. And when you do, you go ahead and put in the name you want. So in this case, Fira Mono. It will do a search. If you've already added it like I have, you're not going to have it. But if you, of course, had it to where you have never added it, you just go there, right there. You click on this, and you go ahead and OK. And once you've done that, it will be right here, no problem. So go ahead and do that. Click on Fira, and you're set here. So first of all, we're just going to do a quick little fun little piece here. So what I want you guys to do is go ahead and hold Shift key down. Click on the 9 key to make a parentheses bracket. After you do that, go ahead and hold Shift key again. Hit the number 6. You'll make the up arrow. Go ahead and hold the Shift and then click on the minus key, which is by your plus key on your keyboard. That'll make lowercase, and then, of course, do another Shift and 6. And then, of course, just do a Shift and 0, and there we go. We have a funny little Y place. So now for our next one, I want you to go ahead. If you look on your keyboard by the P button, you will see what is called the chevron and bracket box. So the chevron is the top one, and the bottom one is your bracket box. So hold Shift and hit the key right next to your P key. That'll make a chevron. So what I want you to do then goes hit minus, and then go ahead and just hit that key again, and you'll get your bracket. Just showing you the difference between the two. Then hit the O key. Go ahead and hold the Shift and minus key by the 0. Go ahead and hit the O key again, and then of course the button, 2 keys from your P, is go ahead and do the other bracket. So right now we've gotten these little fun pieces. So we just have a little guy. This is what I like to call the Magna smiley face, kind of like, think along the lines of Pokemon or something. And this is a little bracket robot box. Now, go ahead and hit enter twice. Sorry about the echo, guys. My microphone picks up a lot of pieces. What we're going to do is we're going to do a couple of basic shapes here. So the first one is we're going to make a tree. Yes, you heard me, a tree. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to hit the space key. Then you're going to hold the shift key down. Now what you're going to do is you're going to want to hit the 8 key. What you're going to do is do this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go ahead and hit enter. Now we're going to make the middle of the tree. So hold shift again. Hit the key, 8 key. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And do one more for 7. Now, as you can see right here, we've got the spacing lined up. Doesn't quite look like a tree yet, but we're getting pretty close. So hit the enter key again. Now, do you remember? Yep, hit the space key. Hit the shift and go the 8 key again. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now we kind of got our wonderful leaves here in the tree. Go ahead and hit enter again. Now, what we're going to do is you're going to hit the space key once, twice. Now, we got to make the trunk of a tree with a little knot hole in it, if you know Kill a Mockingbird. So what you're going to do next is you're going to go ahead and hit the line key. Now, if you notice right above your enter key, that's the line key. So you hit the shift key and then hit the line key right above your enter key. It will make a straight line. And then, this is pretty easy. Just go ahead and hit the 0 key. There's your knot hole. And then go ahead and hit the shift key again and then hit the key right above enter. And look at that. We have ourselves a fun little tree. Now, this is what we're going to do. I want you to go ahead and go with your space key, 1, 2, 3, 4. And go ahead and put your arrow key up here and go 1, 2, 3, 4. What I want you to do is hold the shift key and then hit the number 2, which will make the @ logo. Now, what you're going to do is go ahead and just push down on your arrow key. See what I did there? It made it kind of nicely lined up with your piece. Now, we got to make a line. So if you look at that same key that made this line above it, above the enter key, all you're going to do is going to hit that key above it, and we're going to make a piece like a leaf. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hold the shift key down, hit that button above the enter key again. And now what we're going to do is if you look to the left of your shift key on your right-hand side, you'll see the question mark. So what you're going to do is you hold that shift key down, hit that line again, and you get a question mark. But if I delete it and then just hit that key again, I've got myself a flower. So now, I want everybody to go ahead and make another flower here. So what we're going to do is we're going to just hit the shift key again. There we go. I'm going to make my line. Make that. I'm going to go up to the top here. I'm going to go over by the @ symbol. And I'm going to make some little fun little pieces here. Pretty cute, eh? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back on up here. My little robot here. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter a couple times. And now what I'm going to do, that, just kidding. So right now we've got to make a little cloud here above the sky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go space over to about this side of the key. Now, listen carefully. And like I said, you'll be able to pause the video here. But what you do is you hold the shift key, go hit the minus key and do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go ahead and push the arrow key down. Space on over. Right about just before the line here. Go ahead and hold your shift. Hit the 9 key, and you're going to make a parentheses. And what you're going to do is you're going to go right over here. Go ahead and hit the minus. Push that over. And then you're going to do 1 space. Shift 9 key again. 2 spaces, shift, hit the minus button, 2, space once, shift, 0 key, and then of course, shift minus key. Starting to make a cloud here carefully, as you can see. So now I'm going to go ahead and space just before that minus sign. Doing this just to learn our different keys, guys. Nothing too crazy here. Of course, I have the shift, hit the 9 key twice, space once, shift, hold the minus key twice, 1, 2. So as you can see, you're lining these up. See, if you notice here, these patterns now work. You're lining these keys up. So it looks like it's making a shape using a different coding. That's why we make sure you do your counting of space, and you'll see that with your exercise. Now I'm just going to space over once, twice. So I'm underneath that second one. I'm going to space it one more time. So now I'm directly underneath this underscore. I'm going to hold shift, hit the 0 key. I'm going to make that piece. I'm going to space it once. So now I am just in front of this parentheses. I'm now going to space it one more time. So now I'm lined up here with this underscore. I'm going to hold shift down, hit that minus key 2 more times. 1, 2. I'm going to hit the shift key and hit the 0. As you can see, I'm starting to kind of make a cloud here. There are some differences, but I want to show you how you can fix that in a little minute. I did it on purpose. So I'm going to hit down again. So now I'm going to space all the way until I'm in this little empty space above this first part of the second paragraph. And now I'm going to hold the shift key down. I'm going to hit the 9 key once, twice, 3 times. I'm going to space on over to this part right here. So as you can see, I'm nicely lined up with this first underscore. And I'm going to go do another underscore. Now, yep, you guessed it. I'm going to now copy these over. So I'm going to hold down my shift key and hit the 0 key 1, 2, and 3. And now, as you can see, I kind of have a cloud here. If I go ahead and backspace this, I got a little picture. But as you can see, I'm a little uneven in 2 spots here. So that's really easy to do. So all you do is once you have your basic shape here, go ahead here, hit the backspace. That clears that up. And now, as you can see, this little minus here looks a little out of place. I did that on purpose. So I'm going to delete that, hold the shift down, go back to that space. And now, as you can see, I look like I have, two little faces looking above a cloud right by a tree and 2 flowers. Pretty cool, huh? So now what we're going to do is I'm going to do one more little piece here. We're going to make an elephant. Yes, you heard me correctly, an elephant. So what we're going to do is I'm going to turn this loose here, and I am going to have you follow these instructions very carefully. But what I want you to do, and you can pause this video, you cannot skip. What we're going to do is you're going to make an elephant. So what we're going to do is right here on challenge number 1, which just loaded, you are going to do this. Now, as you can see, this is a space here. See right here, line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. So right over here by the flower, I want you to space 2 to 3 times. So you have a little space up here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and do exactly what these directions look like. So first exercise, it says 2 spaces. So I go right here, I go 1, 2. And it says 1 period and 4 minuses. So I do 1 period. I do 4 minuses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then, as you can see, I do 1 period, 1 minus. So 1 period, 1 minus. And then it tells me to hit another period and then go enter. There is line 1 right now. This is going to be the top of the elephant. So now we got to do 1 space and 1 bracket. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the space here. Remember that inside dash line is the question marks on your keyboard. So there you go. As you can see, this is starting to make the elephant's tail. Once you do that, you do 4 spaces and then 1 parenthesis left. So I'm going to go ahead and do 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to hold the shift key, hit the 9 key. There is the first part of my ear. So I got to space it 1 more time and do a lowercase o. This is a lowercase o. If it's a 0, it's usually larger, or a capital O. That is that. This is a lowercase o. So space once, hit the O key. We're going to space it 1 more time and then do the forward slash. So I'm going to space this 1 more time. The forward slash, if you do not remember, is the key above your enter key. So there it is. As you can see, making the eye of the elephant in his trunk right there. And you got to hit enter again. Now, as you can see, there is no space. You're going to do apostrophe. An apostrophe, that is the key to your left of your enter key. So I'm going to hit the apostrophe. It's part of his tail. I'm going to do now hold shift and above my enter, and then hit the button above my enter key to make this line, then do 2 spaces. So shift, line, 1, 2 spaces. Now I have to do 2 of the underscore, which is holding the shift key and hitting the minus twice. 1, 2. As you can see, here's the top of the elephant, here's the middle, and we're making his body. Once we did that, we do a space and then the accent mark. So I'm going to do the space, one space. And now the accent mark is that far left key underneath the escape key. Hit that. So there's that part. As you can see, we're filling in more of the elephant's trunk. Once you do that, you hit space and then 2 of the lines. So one space, shift, hit the button above the enter key twice. 1, 2. See, I'm making his trunk right there. And then, of course, we're going to hit enter. And now we're going to finish up his legs and body. So to do that, we have to do one space. If you remember, 3 of the lines. So once again, shift, hit the key above your enter button 3 times. 1, 2, 3. There we go. We're making his legs. Now we're going to do space one more time. Hit the minus key. There we go. Under him. And now we have to do right here, which is do the apostrophe again. So there's that part. Sorry about that, everybody. Now, I've done this. Oops. As you can see, I have made a mistake. No problem. What happens when we make a mistake? Because it learns, we go ahead and hit the minus key. This on purpose. Yeah, so you're probably like, wait a minute, Mr. Reed, that's not how an elephant's leg looks. I'm doing it. So I've deleted that. See, we make mistakes. It's how we learn. So then I'm going to hit twice again. Why? Because as you can see, it evens right on up here. Now I'm going to do those 3 again. So I'm going to hold down shift, hit that one above the enter key 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Look, I've made the other 2 legs. I'm going to space it once. I'm going to hit the minus key, and then I'm just going to hit it with the apostrophe. And look at that. We have an elephant. And if we really want to get cool, we can just go ahead and highlight this. And right here where it says 11, I can make it 30. Look at that. I got myself an elephant. If I really want to be really fun, I can go ahead and highlight the whole thing. I can go over here to the highlight color, and I can make that gray. There you go. You can see kind of an outline. You can get really creative with this, guys. I'm having you just play around with this. See? Pretty cool, huh? And if I want to, I can always do this. Space it out, as you can see. You can move it around. Or I can just highlight this empty space and just do none there. Same thing. We'll just go highlight that. Just put none. See, as you can see, it makes out the color here. I can do it right in between the elephant here. None. This is, of course, having fun. We're making a little art here. And look at that. We have a little highlight elephant. He's in purple here. I could go ahead and make him gray or blue or red or pink or whatever I can. So that is everything here for the tutorial on doing this. Once you have this, go make sure you have this ASCII Coding. Go ahead and go to the top and say practice. And what I want you to do now is go ahead and turn this into Google Classroom. So if you go to Google Classroom, you will see it under your assignments under programming here. These are my old classes, but of course you're going to go to your computer classroom and go to classwork and then go ahead and enter it right under here. So once you've turned in there, I want you to go to the second part of the assignment, and I want you to perform challenges 2 through 7. Once you have done them all, you can, once you have your animals, different shapes and everything, I want you to go ahead and color code them really quick and then go ahead and turn in the assignment, and you're good to go for this part of ASCII Coding. And once that's finished, if you finish early, which will probably take you at least a good 40, 45 minutes to get everything completed, I want you to go on to the 3rd challenge, which is making your own ASCII coding shape. So that's all I have for everything, guys. Go ahead and enjoy. And if you have any questions, go ahead and raise your hand, and I will help you.